evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. At first, the headlines. Upon the royal blessings of His Majesty the Sultan, the Sultanate helps to free 2 Americans from Yemen and receives a new batch of Yemeni injured people. The Sultanate strongly condemns the terrorist attack in Sinai, which killed 12 Egyptian soldiers. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council completes foundations of preparing the forthcoming general budget and approves forwarding it to the Council of Ministers. From 1st of November, gasoline 91, compatible with around 85% of Sultanate's vehicles, is to be available in the local market. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. An official source at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that upon royal blessing of His Majesty the Sultan to help the American government efforts to free a number of American citizens detained in Yemen, the concerned authorities in the Sultanate, in coordination with Yemeni authorities in Sana'a, freed 2 of them. They were brought to the Sultanate last night on board of a plane affiliated to Royal Air Force of Oman in preparation of their return to their country. Upon royal orders to continue rendering treatment to the Yemeni injured, the Sultanate received a new batch of the injured to receive treatment in the Sultanate's hospitals and were transported from Sana'a to Muscat on the same flight. The Sultanate strongly condemned the terrorist attack, which took place last Friday in Bir al-Badr district, west of Arish city, North Sinai, killing 12 Egyptian soldiers and wounding 6 others. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement affirming that the Sultanate's solidarity with the government and people of Egypt to stand firm against all those who want to undermine its security and stability. The Sultanate renews at the same time its hard stance against all forms and manifestations of violence and terrorism, anytime and any place. In the statement, the Sultanate expressed its heartfelt condolences and sincere sympathy to the families of the martyrs who were killed due to this heinous crime, praying to Allah the Almighty to grant the injured a speedy recovery. To continue discussions of the basics and assumptions based on which the state general budget estimates will be prepared for the fiscal year 2017, the Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council held its 4th meeting of the year. The Council reviewed the latest global economic situation and its impact on the national economy and public finance, including global oil prices. The Council discussed the general framework of the state's general budget project for the fiscal year 2017 and studied its estimates for the revenues, expenditure and deficit, as well as suggested financing means to cover the deficit in light of those developments, besides undertaking the necessary procedures to reduce the state's budget deficit and to contain it within safe levels to sustain the expenditure. The Council approved forwarding the budget project to the Council of Ministers and studied the report of the International Monetary Fund regarding its assessment of the state's financial institution, besides a number of other topics. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Darwish bin Ismail al-Balushi, Minister responsible for Financial Affairs and Deputy Chairman of the Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council. The Ministry of Oil and Gas announced the availability of gasoline 91 in local markets from the 1st of upcoming November. The fuel under the name regular, which is currently available in fuel stations, will be changed to gasoline 91, while the fuel under the name super will be changed to gasoline 95. These numbers represent the percentage of octane in the fuel. After the changes in prices, consumers used regular fuel by more than 270%, which makes concerned bodies to provide the product of gasoline 91 with high efficiency. Specialists clarify that more than 70 to 85% of vehicles designed for octane 91, which was not available in the market before. Fuel stations should change the new names from the 1st of November until the 31st of December. The Sultanate is with the global trend to decrease the level of oil production with the aim of increasing the selling prices. This was announced by His Excellency Salem bin Nasser Al Ufi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Oil and Gas for Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television, adding that the Sultanate is still not receiving any formal speech to decrease the production. The Telecommunication Regulatory Authority issued an explanatory statement on the telecommunications sector in the Sultanate. The statement called telecommunications companies working in the Sultanate to resurvey the different areas of the Sultanate to find out the reality of the telecommunication service coverages and to follow up on the network performance of the fixed and mobile telecommunications companies in terms of coverage and quality of the rendered services, and to assess what has been achieved in terms of increasing the coverage level in the rural areas. The statement called the companies to render their updated work plans for 3 future years to explain programs of developing and expanding telecommunication networks and coordination with specialized government bodies in order to facilitate and overcome challenges facing the companies to obtain licenses. In terms of the telecommunication services prices, the statement urged the necessity of accelerating completion of the bidding procedures to enter the third service provider of mobile phones and to update retail prices of telecommunication services in the Sultanate compared to neighboring countries. In order to enhance awareness of the cases related to reserve and managed ecology systems and reserves area activities of the 5th edition of the National Competition for Environmental Elocution for college and university students started in the Governorate of Muscat. The competition, which was organized by Omani Environment Society in cooperation with Emirates Environmental Group, focused on the current environment issues and the society behaviors that negatively affect the environment and its natural resources. More than 40 student teams participated in the competition to provide the best preservation on preserving the environment. Her Excellency Dr. Rawia bin Saud Al Busaidia, Minister of Higher Education, presided over the opening ceremony of the competitions. Still to come in our news bulletin. Tourism season in the Governorate of Musandam started with an expectation of receiving more visitors. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The Sultanate joined the world countries in participating in the World Food Day, which came under the theme Climate Changes, Food and Agriculture too. The Sultanate achieved accelerated growth in the agriculture sector and continued by implementing plans and strategies in agriculture and fishery sector, recording a growth of 6% in 2015. The Sultanate classified second at the Arab level and 26th at the international level within the International Indicator for Food Security 2016. The Sultanate seeks to achieve food security through the Strategy of Agriculture and Fisheries Sector 2040, which works on enhancing the percentage of self-sufficiency and investment in food production, with developing agriculture production systems, in addition to issuing regulations for agriculture and fisheries production. The government encourages establishing companies concerned in food production. To prevent hunger and malnutrition, Daralata participated with the world countries in celebrating World Food Day, which falls on the 16th of October each year. The event included distributing foodstuffs to the insolvent families through a number of male and female volunteers from various governorates of the Sultanate. This activity aimed to showcase the volunteers' capability in contributing to food safety and productivity system, in addition to their vital role in the society. The event witnessed participation from a number of companies and school students. The Sultanate's experience in the field of electronic recruitment followed in the Ministry of Civil Service, as well as a number of administrative systems and practices applied at the ministry. Top discussions at the meeting held between His Excellency Sheikh Khaled bin Omar Al Marhoun, Minister of Civil Service, with His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Mukhtar, Secretary General of National Civil Service Recruitment Board in Sudan. The meeting also touched upon boosting bilateral cooperation between the Ministry of Civil Service and Recruitment Board in Sudan, as well as exchanging expertise and developmental concepts in this sector and ways of benefiting from successful administrative practices in the two countries. His Excellency Mohammed bin Nasser Al Rasbi, Secretary General at the Ministry of Defense, received in his office at Muaskar Al Murtafa today Frank A. Rose, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State. During the meeting, they exchanged cordial talks and touched upon several matters of common concern to both. The meeting was attended by the Ambassador of the United States of America, accredited to the Sultanate. Air Vice Marshal Matar bin Ali Al Obaidani, commander of the Royal Air Force of Oman, or RAFO, received in his office at Muaskar Al Murtafa today Frank A. Rose, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State. During the meeting, they discussed several matters of common concern. The meeting was attended by Air Commodore Salim bin Khalfan Al Rakhbi, Senior Staff Officer at the RAFO Command, and the Ambassador of the United States of America, accredited to the Sultanate. Tourism season in the Governorate of Musandam attracts thousands of tourists due to the potentials the Governorate enjoys, in addition to breathtaking landscapes and diverse marine life. More details in the following report, read by Suleiman Al-Bukhri.
The tourism season, which started yesterday, is expected to witness an increase in the number of tourists visiting the Governorate from inside and outside the Sultanate. Citizens in the Governorate prepare their boats and yachts for the tourists. In addition to providing tourist guides, they will organize sea voyages, mountaineering and diving. The Ministry of Tourism seeks to attract 1 million tourists by 2040 through providing all recreation and rest means, along with providing camping tools and materials and scuba diving and snorkeling equipment to experience the coral reefs live. The diversification in the marine life, in addition to tributaries and the mountainous sceneries, are the main elements that attract the tourists. It is worth mentioning that the majority of tourists visiting the Governorate are from Europe, namely from Germany, France and Italy, in addition to tourists from other parts of the world. Khassab Port has played a great role in promoting tourism in the Governorate on the domestic and international level, and large touristic companies have included the port by anchoring their big tourist ships.
With the aim to develop and strengthen Scout communication skills, the Sultanate participated with world countries in celebrating the 59th International Scout Camp for Wireless Communication and 20th for Internet in the Governorate of Buraymi. The Sultanate participated in this event for the first time in 1986 and achieved the third position on the international level in 1991. This year, the event focused on extending a bridge of communication between scouts and guides around the world by using modern technology means. The event is considered a valuable chance to exchange experiences and knowledge. The camp highlighted on the websites the support for friendship and technology skills to serve scouts and guides. It provided promotion space on websites for competition and innovation. And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates with chances of cloud accumulation and scattered rains over the Hajar Mountains. Winds will be northeasterly light to moderate over the coast of Sea of Oman, while along the coasts of the Arabian Sea it will be southwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight to moderate along the coasts of the Arabian Sea with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. Rest of the coasts it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Upon the royal blessings of His Majesty the Sultan, the Sultanate helps to free 2 Americans from Yemen and receives a new batch of Yemeni injured people. The Sultanate strongly condemns the terrorist attack in Sinai, which killed 12 Egyptian soldiers. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council completes basics of preparing the forthcoming general budget and approves forwarding it to the Council of Ministers. From 1st of November, gasoline 91 compatible with around 85% of Sultanate's vehicles is to be available in the local market. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.